Coming up on Night Vision News, a campus fundraising organization pushed for their goal.
A new area gym targets a unique clientele.
And women's soccer prepares for the upcoming NCAA tournament. This is Night Vision News.
Welcome to Night Vision News. I'm Courtney Moser.
And I'm Sophie Reeder. Thank you for joining us. Yesterday, Suicide Awareness for Everyone, also known as SAFE, held its annual Day of Silence. Students around campus wore all black and stickers that said, "What if I wasn't here?" The organization also set up 123 flags on campus lawn to represent the number of deaths due to suicide per day.
The National Day of Silence is a day that we take to honor the people we've lost to suicide, as well as raise awareness of the impact suicide has on the world. We're seeing an increased number of suicides per day, which is why we set up our flags, just to kind of show that big number and how big of an issue it is. Wartburg College Dance Marathon held their Fall Push Day yesterday. Dance Marathon participants were on a mission to raise $30,000 in just 24 hours. In all, they ended up earning over $34,000. As a part of the Push Day festivities, executive team members were available in the Student Life Hub to help students sign up and raise money. There were many prizes offered for participants helping to raise money. More importantly, they raised awareness for their cause.
It's important for people to participate in Push Day and just Dance Marathon in general because it really helps families in our own community. So sometimes it's kind of weird. It feels like, why is all this money going to Iowa City, to the University of Iowa State Family and Children's Hospital? But that's our local Children's Miracle Network hospital. So any kiddos that are sick or injured right here in Waverly or in the Cedar Valley area would then go to that hospital. So it really is important just because it is a local issue and it really does help people right here in town.
To learn more on how to get involved, visit Wartburg College Dance Marathon on Facebook and Instagram.
One Wartburg department is preparing for an important community tradition, the holiday shop. The Wartburg College Department of Social Work is accepting donations through December 8th for its 33rd annual holiday shop. The event provides gifts for more than 600 children in Bremer County each year. New unwrapped gifts may be donated to the social work office on the second floor of Old Main on Wartburg's campus. Cash contributions are also accepted and used to purchase gifts at area merchants. Checks may be payable to Wartburg College. For more information about the holiday shop, contact Lynn Peters at lynn.peters@wartburg.edu.
Wartburg recently placed a brand new interfaith prayer room inside the Wartburg Chapel. Wartburg created an interfaith prayer room after being inspired by a trip made this last year to Augustana College. The interfaith prayer room was made possible by the ELCA after they had given a grant to Wartburg Spiritual Life to explore interfaith initiatives in schools.
The interfaith prayer room actually does have quite a few things from different traditions, and so that's an opportunity for us to have a little bit different kind of presence on campus. We also thought it was important that it was in the chapel because that idea of hospitality is something that we're really grounded in as a Lutheran Christian institution. That's something that Jesus called us to do, and so being hospitable by welcoming people from all faith traditions into the chapel is an important part of our ministry.
People of all faith practices can visit the Interfaith Prayer Room located in the Chapel Commons. Coming up, we'll explore a unique business in the area and give an update on the impeachment inquiry.
Do you know what to do if you're stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. If a train is not approaching, find the blue and white emergency notification system sign on the traffic signs at the crossing. For help, call the number on the sign and give them the crossing number so they know your location and can alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Some things in your medicine cabinet are more dangerous than others. When it comes to prescription drugs, opioid pain medicines can be addictive and even deadly. Keeping unused opioid medicines in your home is risky. Half the people who misuse prescription pain medicines get them from a friend or family member. Over 100 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose, and millions are addicted to opioids. But you can be part of the solution to the opioid crisis. Go through your medicine cabinets, drawers, anywhere you keep unused opioid pills, patches, or syrups, and find out how to dispose of them safely. Visit fda.gov/drug disposal for details and remove the risk of opioids in your home.
Welcome back. A new gym in the area has a specific purpose: to battle chronic pain. Gentle Gym is not your average workout space. The patrons of the gym, instead of being focused on bodybuilding, focus on building up the body. Gentle Gym is an offshoot of Agape Therapy, meaning members of the gym are mostly physical therapy patients suffering from chronic pain, geriatric issues, or other lasting problems. It's for anyone who feels they need a little more help.
Anybody that doesn't feel comfortable maybe going somewhere else and wants a little bit more one-on-one care, so it's something that we always provide.
Before applying for a membership, Gentle Gym gives a customer an assessment from a physical therapist and a 3D body scanner. These help create a program suited specifically for their individual needs. They also do reassessments to see if the exercise is effective. The gym includes equipment you'd see at any regular gym, but with some extra bonuses, including a therapy pool with an underwater treadmill, an infrared sauna to target healing at a cellular level, and a massage chair. The one thing you won't see is mirrors. When signing up for the gym, each member gets a journal and is encouraged to use it.
That there is a lot of research behind journaling and writing down our feelings. We have cards in our library here that also provoke people with questions about themselves or how they're feeling or even external things. And so there's just a lot of research that's done, especially with chronic pain, getting people to think about their pain and to think of it differently than just I hurt.
While the gym focuses on healing of the body, it also tackles healing of the mind by trying to create an open community for everyone to join.
Right now I'm sitting in what we would call our living room, and it is a specific place in our gym made for members to come, to sit, to relax, hopefully to connect with each other. When the rest of the development is open, to run down, grab a coffee, grab a juice, come here, drink it, really to promote the camaraderie that people need and the connections, and for members to realize that they are not the only people going through what they have. They can feel very isolated, and I think that we really are trying to provide a place to make members realize that they're not the only ones, and that there's a lot of people in the area with the same things going on, and that there's a lot of people that they can connect with and reflect with.
Reporting for Night Vision News, I'm Sophie Reeder. To find out more, visit the gym website at www.thegentlegym.org.
There are new updates regarding the case of Molly Tibbetts, a 20-year-old University of Iowa student who was murdered in July of 2018. The man accused of killing her had the last day of his evidentiary hearing on Thursday. Cristhian Rivera is accused of fatally stabbing Tibbetts while she was out for a jog. He then supposedly hid her body in a cornfield. This week's hearings focused on whether his alleged confession should be included in the murder trial. His attorneys claim that police coerced the confession and that Rivera was not read his full Miranda rights during the interrogation. After the questioning, he led police to the body. A former police officer testified on Wednesday that Rivera was in fact read his full Miranda rights after they discovered the body. The officer claims it was a mistake that she did not read the complete rights prior to questioning. She says she had failed to inform him that anything he said could be used against him in court. The judge still has weeks to rule of how much of Rivera's alleged confession will be allowed at trial. The trial is set to begin in February. We will continue to bring you updates.
The United States House of Representatives has been holding an ongoing impeachment hearing concerning President Donald J. Trump since Wednesday. The hearing is the latest development in the inquiry triggered by a phone call the president had with the Ukrainian president. President Trump allegedly used the withdrawal of military aid to leverage Ukraine into investigating the Biden family over a position Hunter Biden had taken in Ukraine while his father was serving as vice president. The highlight of the hearing was the testimony from senior diplomatic official to Ukraine, Bill Taylor.
Ambassador Sondland told President Trump the Ukrainians were ready to move forward. Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for.
The impeachment inquiry is an ongoing story. We will continue to bring you updates as the hearings develop. Now let's take a look at this week's weather. Courtney?
This week will bring mostly partly cloudy skies throughout the week, but there are a few chances for rain, snow, and ice to form. Beginning today, we will see a high of 42 degrees, a low of 25 with partly cloudy skies. Those partly cloudy skies will continue into tomorrow with a high of 38. Sunday, that high remains with 38, but a low of 25 and a chance of morning rain with a potential for ice to form, so be prepared for that. Monday will bring a high of 39 with a low of 29 and mostly cloudy skies. Tuesday we'll see those clouds break up just a bit but still remain with partly cloudy skies and high of 44. Wednesday those highs will dip down just a bit to 42 degrees and a low of 32. And Thursday will bring morning snow showers, a high of 36 and a low of 23. And that's a look at your 7-day forecast. After the break, Noah Dodd will be in the studio to talk about the upcoming football game.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Just last night, Night Vision News' Ryan Riebenacker sat down with Wartburg Football's Noah Dodd to talk about his performance and the team's postseason hopes.
Here in the studio now, our very special guest, Wartburg starting quarterback Noah Dodd. Noah, thanks so much for coming in here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So starting off, talking a little bit about historical context. You're a senior now this year. The past seasons of your career, you've had to play behind Gagliardi Trophy finalist and Matt Sasha. So what has it been like for you stepping into, a full-time role now as the starting quarterback of the Knights?
Yeah, like you said, playing behind Matt, it's kind of been a long time coming. Basically, when I was behind Matt, I just prepared every week like I was the starter. So when my time came, I'd be ready to go. So this year, it's been, no different in my preparation than it has in years past. I learned a lot from playing behind Matt, and I credit, that to who I am as a player today. And it's been fun though, and we've had some success so far this year. So hopefully we can finish it off the right way this Saturday.
Yeah. How did your preparation change coming into, say, this off season, knowing that you're going to get, the bigger touches, and also having Jace Moore as well to kind of compete with and against at the same time, as you were both looking to get a lot of touches at the quarterback spot. So how did you approach this past off season, getting ready for your senior season, and trying to take the bull by the horns?
Right. Yeah. So, it came at a couple different ways, like strength-wise, in the weight room, I had to kind of buckle down there, playing in a full football game, it takes a toll on your body, so you got to make sure you're ready for that, physically. And there's other mechanical things I worked on this off-season in terms of like throwing mechanics and stuff like that I worked with some coaches on to improve my throwing mechanics, and just studying film, studying myself, what I could improve on, so I was quicker with reads and things like that. So, I just kind of worked in all those different aspects in the off season, and worked to improve myself so I'd be ready to go.
So, after this most recent game against Central, you've now tied the same school record twice. And obviously your story has a lot more to do than just Matt Sasha, but you got to bring up the comparisons. Then he threw for 5 touchdowns a couple times throughout his career. You did it once against Nebraska Wesleyan this year at the homecoming game, and then again against Central College just this past weekend. So what does it feel like for you to know that you've tied a school record of that caliber now several times? Yeah, pretty cool. Like I said, just being mentioned, in the same sentence as a guy like Matt Sasha is pretty cool, It's cool to get that recognition and stuff, but what I really care about and the team cares about is getting the win. So we were able to do it against Nebraska Wesleyan. Couldn't quite squeak it out last week, that was a heartbreaker. But yeah, record's really cool, and it's something I'll definitely remember. Obviously, one thing that's on a lot of people's minds when it comes to football right now, especially Knights fans, is looking at the NCAA tournament. Now, obviously, there's a lot that we can't control right now at Wartburg when it comes to an automatic bid. But how does your approach, I should say, change preparing for an opponent like Loras, knowing that so much is on the line across the pond in the Central Co game? Yeah, well, we're just trying to focus on Loras this week. That's where all our attention is. We can't really control anything that happens over there in that game. So, we're just taking it like any other week. Coaches got us focused solely on Loras, so we're going to do our best to prepare for those guys and make sure our team's ready to go this Saturday to take care of business. So if push comes to shove, just real quick, and the Knights are left hoping for an at-large bid. I know you can't say that we'd obviously get it or that we'd obviously not, but how do you feel that your chances would be, just for Knights fans in that situation? Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked too much into the specifics, like what teams are also vying for at-large bids, but or any of that. But I feel personally that our team is definitely a playoff caliber team, and I think I can say with confidence that our coaches and our other players think that too. So if we're lucky enough to get an at-large bid, if that ends up being the situation, I think we'll be ready to make some noise in the playoffs. Yeah, and I'm sure that Knights fans are happy to agree with you there. And obviously being a ranked team should help down the road. Noah, thanks again for coming in and talking with me here. Noah and the rest of the Knights are set to take on the Loras Stewhawks, as he said, this Saturday at 1. It'll be senior day as well, so don't miss it. We'll be back with some more sports content. Keep it here.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Welcome back. Taking a look at sports, I'm Ryan Riebenacker. Looking first to the ARC honors, the Wartburg soccer team swept honors this past week, with sophomore Joy Smith earning Offensive Player of the Week and teammate Sarah Campbell the defensive honoree. Smith tallied 3 points in the 2 games in the American Rivers Conference tournament, and she also tallied 1 assist in the 4-0 win over Dubuque. This is Smith's 2nd career honor and 2nd of the season. Campbell added 2 assists in the win over Dubuque and earned her 3rd conference honor of the season. A number of athletes have also been named to the academic all-district teams for both football and volleyball, with the 2019 College Sports Information Directors of America academic all-district football teams being released on Thursday, with 3 members of the Wartburg football team selected to the NCAA Division III District 8 team, including Luke Gretsch, Will Haskin, and Colin Schulte. The academic all-district football team selected by COSIDA recognized the nation's top student athletes for their combined performances on the field and in the classroom. A native of Johnston, Iowa, junior Luke Gretsch is the starting center for the Knights, playing a key role in the top-scoring offense in the American Rivers Conference. Will Haskin, on the other hand, is a senior biochemistry major. He's a native of Miles, Iowa, and has totaled 21 tackles this season as a defensive back. He also has a pair of interceptions and has recorded 2 block punt return touchdowns. And lastly, a senior wide receiver from Anamosa, Colin Schulte ranks 2nd in the ARC with 14 receiving touchdowns and has gathered 917 receiving yards on the season, averaging 101.8 per game. He's a biochemistry major and is now a 2-time COSIDA All-District honoree. Looking from football to volleyball, 2 members of the Wartburg volleyball team were named to the region's all-academic roster in Kylie Bildstein and Sydney Rottinghouse. Bildstein led the American Rivers Conference with a .413 hitting percentage and 16 solo blocks during conference competition. She was also twice named the ARC Offensive Player of the Week and Female Athlete of the Week on October 21st. Her 34.1 hitting percentage this season ranks among the top 10 best in a season at Wartburg, and Bildstein earned AVC Honorable Mention and ARC All-Conference accolades. The junior native of Dyersville, Iowa, is a business administration major here at Wartburg. And secondly, the junior setter from Mason City, Iowa, Sydney Rottinghouse, is an accomplished exercise science major. She was one of 6 Knights to play in all 32 matches this season, totaling 529 assists and 371 digs. In 19 matches, Rottinghouse recorded double-doubles in assists and digs, including a career-high 26 assists versus Bethel. Breaking down our team sports coverage this week with what's got to be our biggest story, Wartburg women's soccer will be one of the 16 schools in the nation to host during this weekend's NCAA tournament. Women's soccer defeated the Luther Norse in the ARC tournament just last weekend, and now they host foes including St. Scholastica, Concordia, Wisconsin, and Pomona Pitzer. This will be the 3rd straight year that the Knights have qualified for the NCAA tournament, and in 2015 they made it all the way to the Sweet 16. The Knights will face off against Concordia, Wisconsin Saturday at 4:30 right here in Waverly. Wartburg will be honoring the namesake of the Buzz Levick tournament this weekend, as Levick himself will be receiving the Wartburg Medal for his successes prior to the Wartburg's game against Iowa Wesleyan. In his time, Levick earned 14 Iowa Conference championships as the head men's basketball coach, including 9 straight championship seasons, and was named the Conference Coach of the Year 9 times. He's currently Wartburg's all-time winningest coach. Our last story in sports this week revolves around the highly anticipated beginning to the number 3 ranked women's basketball team season. This is the program's highest preseason ranking, and they'll open the season at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire Classic. They'll play UW La Crosse tonight at 6 and then play the host team UW-Eau Claire at 5 tomorrow. Wartburg ended last season with an overall record of 27-4 and a conference mark of 15-1. They also advanced to the Elite Eight, where they fell to second-ranked University of St. Thomas. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about a new way to find our content online.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day. He's an incredible companion and my best friend.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's gonna be cool.
When I retired from the Navy, I found myself on a void in my life that had been filled by the people that I served with. Tommy really brought an important factor to my life. I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
World Kindness Day was last Wednesday. One hospital used the day to pay tribute to a historical icon. This past Wednesday in Pittsburgh, the West Penn Hospital dressed up newborn babies in cardigans and ties for the celebration of World Kindness Day. The hospital acknowledges the late Fred Rogers with the cardigan and tie outfits in honor of the iconic children's show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, where Fred Rogers often wore the same outfit. Parents of the newborn were able to watch their newborn babies from a nursery window as the nurses dressed up the babies and put costumes on, and then afterwards take photos with their newborn babies.
Looking back on our top stories, Wartburg College Dance Marathon surpassed their fundraising goal. The Gentle Gym reached out to a unique clientele, and Wartburg Women's Soccer is preparing for the upcoming NCAA tournament.
Before we wrap up our show tonight, we are excited to announce our partnership with a new on-campus online service, Nightwire. Nightwire is a new introduction to the Department of Journalism and Communication that will feature content from Night Vision News, The Trumpet, KWAR, Flux, and KV Films, all in a newly developed website. To view any of our content on this new site, visit www.night-wire.com. Thank you again for tuning in to Night Vision News.
To stay up to date with all of our KVN content, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
For all of us here at Night Vision News, I'm Courtney Moser. Have a great week.